Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. Today we're in our Ka-50 Blackshark and we're looking at using the Vikhrs missiles. So let's get armed up first of all, and to arm up you have to set our comms panel to ground crew here. Armament screen, we can have Vikhrs on pylons 1 and 4. 6 Vikhrs per pylon, total of 12.
Request rearming.
While we're rearming, also note we need this weapons switch turned on. Make sure that's turned on, otherwise none of this will work. Let's go and have a look at the controls we're going to be using today. Well, as firing the weapon and selecting the weapons, we also need to be able to use our Shkval to lock onto target. So there's a lot of keys we're going to be using today. First of all, to fire the weapons, weapon release. To select the pylons for usage, just out of general information, we have outward stations, inward stations, and we could have all stations there. To control the Shkval, we've got target lock, Shkval uncage, Shkval reset, and we've got Shkval slew up, left, down, right, and as ever we've got the trimmer. Okay, so we've got some targets over here to the right a few miles away, so I'm going to get myself in a hover and locate them with my Shkval and attain a lock. Out of interest, the range parameters of these Vikhrs are 8.3 kilometers max and 800 meters minimum, so there is a different minimum. And they are beam riding missiles, which means we're going to fire our laser ranger at a target, and they are going to essentially circulate around the laser beam and ride that beam all the way down into target.
Mentioned due to the trajectory of the missiles, if you're trying to thread the needle with a shot, it might just hit whatever is in the way, because the missile is not perfectly following the laser. But it's constantly circling around it, so it takes a bit more space.
So the moral of that is don't fire it like directly past a building, past the edge of a building or something, because it might hit that building.
Yeah, it is a risk.
The next thing we are going to do is find a target with our Shkval, so Shkval uncage. Slew down, we've got a full video on using the Shkval, so we're not going to go all into it now. Get our laser ranging on. Locate a target. Press target lock. Now we can see that we've got a target lock, and he is ranged at 4.1 kilometers from us. Next we're going to go to our armament panel. We want master arm on. Now out of interest, we can also fire more than one. We can fire 2 Vikhrs at once if we wanted, and we can do that by changing the burst length from here from short to long. I can do that, but I'm just going to keep it down on short for now.
Technically speaking, it's not perfectly simultaneous. They will ripple off one after another, but very quickly.
Absolutely. Next we are going to select our Vikhrs, so we're going to select the outward pylons button. Let me do that now. And to confirm that, you can see that we have the outboard pylon selected. We've got Vikhrs here, and we've got 12 of them to play with. Now the next thing to show is that we have our target in this small circle here, and we have our Vikhrs outer limit circle here. And all we have to do is ensure that we orientate our aircraft so that the target circle is within the Vikhr circle here, same as you would do on an Su-25. Once it's in there, we will get permission to fire. You can see we've got the C, which is the Russian Launch Authority. If we move out, then the C disappears, and you can no longer fire unless you were to override Launch Authority. So make sure we've got it in the circle. We've also got a ranging bar, and you can see if we're ranging bar around this outer circle, that would be 0. That there is minimum range. That there is maximum range. You can see we're roughly halfway between minimum range and outer range. Our target is about there at 4.1 kilometers. I'm going to take a shot now with weapon release. Pew! Off she goes.
One thing to mention is you do need to hold down weapon release for a moment. If you just tap it, it's not going to fire.
Oh, good point. It's pretty much a general thing in DCS, but any weapon release button, almost all of them, they need to be held down rather than just tapped. It can be very frustrating to think it's not working just because you're not pressing it down.
And there's one more thing. You will fire off missiles alternatingly from the left and right. And if you're firing from the right and you have auto turn on, then your Shkval circle and the Vikhrs circle, they will actually not overlap. So what you can do then, just punch a little bit of left rudder until you're overlapping and you have launch authority, fire off your missile, and then let go again, and you'll be fine.
Aether just did something very like that. Oh, I see. So depending on which pylon you're changing, depends where that outer... Yeah, I see what you mean. On the HUD, it changes it. Yeah. Okay, I would like to ripple off 2 for my next trick. So I'm going to find a new target. Lock. See, I've got launch authority there. I've got a range there. I'm going to put in long burst length, and we should just be... Yep, we were in the limits there, so let's fire there. Haha, that's pretty cool. That's pretty much it in terms of Vikr's air to ground. You can use Vikr's air to air as well. We've got another video that you can go and see us shooting down helicopters, so that's quite fun. Other than that, I hope it helps, and see you later.